how to make use of Python script to do a field calculator. We have the catalog. From this file, I drag in the data set I'll be using to carry out the calculation, and you can see under my table of contents, you can see this is the data set I'll be using to carry out the task. And with that, okay, so coming to the table of contents, what we can do is to check into this data set attribute table. In doing that, you right click and you come to attribute table. You click on attribute table, the attribute table for the data. These are the fields on the attribute table. This field has different data type. As you can see, when you bring your cursors towards each of the fields, you can see this one is having long as the data type. This is having test. This is test, long, test, double. And we have these two fields, TL and TL_1. Before I proceed, let me quickly show you how to add a field to your attribute table. In the cases whereby you might need to add in a field to your attribute table and to select the data type, for you to get that done, all you can do is to come to this add. You click on add. Okay, so we have the add field on the screen. When you come towards this down part, you can add any field you want. This is the field name where you can give it name, any name of your choice. Maybe for example, I'll just name this as SGE, that is Survey Got Easier. Okay, and this is the data type I was referring to the other time. From this data type, you double click on it and you change it to any data type that you want. Either you want it to be short, integer, long integer, float, double, date, text, you can always select that. And when you are done, you click on it and you right click, you click on save. Or if you want to add more field, you click on this, click here to add a new field, you click on it to add more field. And that is how to add more field to your attribute table. Let me close it back. I don't want to save it. Just an illustration on how to add field. Working with this field that has a data type of text, I'll right click and come to this calculate field. Now we have it, the input table. This is the input. The input is the data set that we have here. This is it, STY. And field name, the field name is the TL here. That's the field name, which is TL. And the default expression type is Python. The traditional way to do field calculator is to actually add or subtract or do number of numerical operations in this field without using the code block. Let's quickly work on a simple traditional way to carry out a field calculator. What we can do here is using this field snum, we can say snum, you double click on snum plus the CNT code, snum plus CNT code, you double click. Because the data type is text, we won't be able to display the result as integer, unlike this field that has the data type long. This data type was text, which means we can only display variable. If I should come here and make use of this field, right click here and I'll click on calculate field. So using this field TL1, what we can do here is to say this num field, which we have it here, plus this CNT code, and I'll click on apply. As you can see, now we have the result display under the TL_1. The addition of num, which is this num plus this CNT code, it gives us the addition under this TL_1. We have other advanced or complex conditions, like if we put them in parentheses and say divide by something else, maybe divide by 2, multiply by 5 and so on. That's what we can do using traditional methods to carry out field calculator. Let me show you what you can do when you want to include Python on your code. Calculate field. Using this field now, the test field table. First of all, to do field calculation using Python, you need to define the command that you want to run. Bringing this down now, this is the code block. Let's do a simple calculation and say if a particular statement meets a particular criteria, then run a particular result. That will mean we have to define it. So in that case, you are going to define, then you put a space, create the variable and say score. You can use any name, but I want to make use of score, and you create the variable. I'll be making use of x as my variable. This variable could be, you can give it any name when you want to use it to calculate, but you must be able to identify the variable that you use if you want to declare the code in order for it to run. And you put column, then I can go down below it and say if x greater than 4000, you put it on column and say return good. You find out that writing 4000, I didn't put quotation, but when you're writing a text or returning a text, you put it on quotation. You know, we use text as the data type. Then press enter and say else enter, return bad. To proceed towards this code, you're going to declare it from this place using same variable that you've used earlier on. You say core, okay, you open the bracket and then okay, so the variable we declare as x is this field num. What I can do now is to select this num and then close it back. What this simply means is that you are checking from num either good or bad and filling into this field TL. That is, you are taking the record from this particular table. If the value is greater than 4000, it should return good on this table, and if it is less than 4000, it should return bad to this table. That's what the code simply implies. And once this is done, you can now check while scrolling down, bringing your cursor to this verify, you click on it and you check the expression. You can see it says expression is valid, and with that you click on apply, so you click OK. When you check this TL table, we have bad and good. The criteria says if it's greater than 4000, it should display good, which means when you check this, because this is less than 4000, that's why you can see bad here, but these are greater than 4000, you can see we have it as good. We can actually add more parameters to the table. Join me on my next video. With this, I believe you can carry out field calculation using Python script to carry out simple tasks. If you're interested in learning basics of GIS, right on my video description I will drop the link for you to enroll. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get more video on how to use your ArcGIS software to carry out different GIS and remote sensing analysis.